Hi, my name is John, and welcome to my channel, In John's Universe. If you're new to the channel, thank you for checking us out and looking in at us. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate it. All right, today I want to talk about my semaglutide journey. Today is the culmination of a 2-month period since I started. When I started back recording my weight on February 20th of this year, my first injection was the night before on the 19th. I had to skip a week last week by not injecting myself with the semaglutide because I had surgery on my cataract the other day. So I couldn't take the semaglutide for 1 week. And I did notice a difference as the medication wore off. I guess it started wearing off on Monday. I usually take my injections on Wednesday night, so I didn't take it the Wednesday before. But I noticed the day before my surgery, I started getting hungrier. Uh, I didn't feel full all the time, and I started having cravings. Let's put it that way. Semaglutide took me off those cravings or steered me away from those cravings. However, I did get through the week. I did get through the surgery with no problems whatsoever. And last night, I took my last dosage of the zero point 0.50 semaglutide. Now, I went to the pharmacy this morning to pick up next week's semaglutide, and my doctor had increased it to the next level. So next week, I'll be taking the 1.0 milligram of semaglutide. I took the injection last night. And this morning I felt fine. The only thing is, again, the only side effect I had was dry mouth. And that's been consistent ever since I started it. Now, it goes away after a couple of days, so it's no big deal. But that's one of the side effects that has affected me. Now, last week I talked about I had plateaued. And last week I started to uh, get edema in my ankles and my feet. So I started taking water pills again. And a lot of that bloatness that I felt was expelled from my system. And naturally, it brought my weight down. Now, this morning when I got on the scale, it's the only note that I'm going to use, it's 224.3. So when I first started this journey, I was 235.1. So I did lose a total of, in 2 months, of 10.8 pounds. Compared to my best record so far, I was at 10 and a half. So I did lose zero point 0.3 pounds more. No big deal, but I feel like I've broken through that plateau that stymied me for almost a month. And the way I did it was I exercised a little bit as according to the way I could do it. I can't stand and exercise. I can't free walk or anything like that other than using my rollator. And that's really not exercising. So what I've been doing is sitting in a chair and using the rubber bands to the best of my ability and standing up and sitting down a couple of times to help strengthen my legs and build up a little cardio exercise with it. And I'm doing the best that I can. We'll see if that's enough. However, I have increased my protein intake quite a bit, and I keep track of protein every single day. And I think that's important for the long term results that I'm trying to achieve. Again, I mentioned this before. I'll never be discouraged. I just keep going on and on and on. And hopefully, I'll get to the point where I'll get to my goal, which is about 35 to 40 pounds from where I started. So that'll bring me under 200 pounds. And I do feel the difference. Somebody had mentioned that somebody had sent me a comment that inches count. And that's true because I know, I mean, I had taken my measurements and I got to do them again. But I did notice my clothes are very loose now, to the point where I have to snug up my belt to the last notch that I had in it, and I'm going to have to make another notch in it or get another belt to hold my trousers up. And I'm looking for my other clothes. I have clothes that are a little bit smaller. Uh, they're somewhere in a closet in those big plastic seal it bags. And I've got to find some of those clothes and bring them out because I'm excited. I think it's working. If I'm not losing the total weight that I'm losing so far, I am losing inches. And from the inches, it'll equate to pounds eventually. Again, the edema is under control. I take a water pill daily. That helps a lot expel the water. I still I still am dehydrated. I don't know how the heck that happens. And I constantly drink water. I'm not probably not enough water, but I'm drinking more water, and I'm trying to include some foods that or vegetables that have more water content in, like melons and watermelons and strawberries and things of that nature to try to introduce more liquids into my body. So that's my take for today. I'm kind of pleased with it so far. It's not going to be a long video. I don't have any notes. The only note that I have is the total weight that I lost. So I'm going to go from here. All right. Thank you for listening to me. If you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate it if you do. If you have any comments for me, please put them in the comment section below. If you want notifications or you want to get notifications of my future videos, there's a little bell down down below somewhere. I don't know where the hell it is, but it's there. Uh, just click on that bell, and that'll give you any notifications that I put up on YouTube regarding new videos that I'm putting out. I'm going to continue doing the weekly summary of my weight loss journey. I think it's important because things change from week to week. And hopefully next week I'll have a better report for you. Maybe I'll lose more weight. I know next Wednesday night will be my first injection of the 1.0, and I'm curious how that's going to affect my body, if it's going to have any more or additional side effects that I don't have with the lower dosage. Because I started out at 0.25, then I went up to 0.50, now I'm going to 1.0. So that's basically 4 times the amount that I started with of the semaglutide. And I think that's going to be enough. I could feel my body reacting to the 0.50, and the 0.50 was pretty good, but the doctor wanted me to go up one more increment. We'll see what happens with that one. I think it's going to work well, and I'll give you a full report next week. All right. Well, again, thank you for listening. I appreciate it, and you have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye bye. Hi, I'm John, and welcome back to my channel in John's Universe. Today I'm going to talk about my continued journey with semaglutide. Today was the last day of 2 month period. I started, recording my weight back. I'm going to cancel this. Stop that. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If yeah, let me start again.